Welcome to the Omega channel. Here, we'll use the power of language to guide you step by step into the world. Hi, everyone. I'm Omega. How's your day?
Hi, everyone. I'm Justin.
It is so good to be here with you. Justin, the world just feels like it's spinning faster every single day.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone is rushing.
Right. Everyone is rushing. Everyone is loud. And those phone notifications just never seem to stop.
They really don't. It is quite overwhelming.
It really is. So for our sharing today, I want to do something a little different. I want this to be a moment to slow down,
I like the sound of that.
a chance to, find ourselves again and maybe heal a little bit of that anxiety we all carry around.
That is a brilliant approach, Omega. We often think learning is just about cramming facts or trying to keep up with the news.
Oh, totally. Like a race.
Exactly. But it shouldn't be a race. It should be about finding clarity. And the source material we are diving into today, it is absolute gold for that.
It really cuts through the noise.
Like a knife.
Yes. Today, we are doing a deep dive into the wisdom of Naval Ravikant. For those who don't know him, he is a legendary investor and thinker.
A very sharp mind.
Very sharp. But what I love about him isn't just his bank account, it's his philosophy. We are going to explore his blueprint for how to build wealth without relying on blind luck.
Right. And listeners, I want you to think of this sharing not as a map.
Not a map.
No, because a map tells you turn left, turn right, but maps get outdated the moment the road changes.
That is so true. The world changes so fast.
Precisely. So think of today's sharing as building a master compass for your life. Once you have a compass, you can navigate anywhere no matter how the terrain changes.
A master compass. I really like that image. It feels safe and grounded.
It does, doesn't it?
It does. So let's start with the foundation. We see the word wealth everywhere, but in our sources today, Naval makes a very specific distinction. He says wealth is not about money.
Which sounds like a bit of a riddle at first.
Yeah, or something a really rich person says just to sound humble.
Spot on.
Yeah.
But there is a key technical difference here. Money is just how we transfer wealth. It is a tool. It's just the credits we trade back and forth.
Right.
Wealth is the actual thing itself.
Exactly. So to make it super clear for everyone listening, Naval defines wealth as assets that earn while you sleep.
While you sleep. That is the crucial part.
Yes. It's the factory full of machines making things, or it's the computer program running at night on a server, or even just money in the bank being reinvested. It's something that works so you don't have to.
And that distinction is vital because if you are trading your time for money, even if you're a highly paid doctor charging $500 an hour.
Right, you still have to show up.
Exactly. You aren't wealthy in this specific definition. You are just well paid.
Yeah.
Because the moment you stop working, the money stops flowing. You are still completely tied to the clock.
And that brings us to the healing part of this whole concept. The ultimate purpose of wealth isn't to buy a Ferrari or a heavy fur coat.
No, not at all.
It isn't about luxury or showing off to your neighbors. The real goal is freedom.
Freedom. That really is the magic word.
Yes, specifically time freedom. It is the freedom to wake up and say, I own my day.
Brilliant.
It's the freedom to not sit in terrible traffic if you don't want to. It's the freedom to just be the sovereign individual of your own life. That is a beautiful thought, isn't it? To just be.
It's a wonderful thought.
Mm.
But Omega, there's a trap here that a lot of people fall into.
Oh, what kind of trap?
Well, a lot of people claim they don't want wealth because they think it's evil or they think it's just a shallow game of vanity. But Naval argues they're confusing two very different games.
Okay.
The wealth game and the status game.
Oh, this part was fascinating. Let's unpack this carefully for the listeners. We see status games everywhere, especially on social media.
Everywhere.
But how do we distinguish them from real wealth creation?
The simplest way to look at it is the math. The status game is purely zero sum.
Zero sum, meaning
Meaning, think of it like a sports match or a political election. For me to be number one, you have to be number two. There's only one gold medal. If I win, you lose. It is a strict hierarchy.
wow, that sounds exhausting.
It is.
And honestly, Justin, it explains a lot of the anger and anxiety we feel when we just scroll through our phones.
It makes people bitter. When you play status games, you are constantly fighting to push other people down just to keep your spot.
Mhm.
But wealth creation, That is positive sum.
Positive sum.
Right.
It is like building a house.
Explain that one.
Well, if I build a beautiful house, it doesn't stop you from building a beautiful house.
No, it doesn't.
We can both have one. In fact, if we both build houses, the technology gets better for everyone and the whole neighborhood actually improves. Wealth is about creating abundance. It's ethical.
Exactly. So the first setting on our master compass for you listeners is this. Ignore the status games. They just make you angry and combative.
They really do.
Focus on wealth creation, which is about solving problems for society. That is where the real freedom lies.
I think that is such a relief to hear. We don't have to compete against each other. We can create together.
Absolutely.
Now, moving on to the real core of today's sharing. The title of our source material is How to Get Rich Without Getting Lucky. But then paradoxically, Naval talks about 4 types of luck.
It does sound like a bit of a contradiction at first glance.
Yeah.
Don't rely on luck, but hey, here are 4 types of luck.
Right.
But it makes perfect sense when you break it down. It is all about understanding which types of luck you can actually control.
Okay, let's walk through the first 3 fairly quickly because I want you to really take your time with the 4th one, Justin.
Deal.
That is where the real magic happens. Okay, so type 1 is blind luck. This is just pure chance.
A lottery.
Exactly. You find a $100 bill on the street. You win the lottery. You have absolutely no control over this. It is just fate.
Right. And you cannot build a life strategy on winning the lottery. That is a guaranteed recipe for anxiety.
Completely. Then there is type 2, which is hustle luck. This comes from hard work. You are running around, stirring up the pot, meeting people, trying new things.
Generating energy.
Yes, you are generating so much energy that eventually something sticks. Energy creates opportunity.
Fortune favors the bold, as the old saying goes. It's a bit like brute force. You flip over so many rocks that eventually you find a gem. It works, but it is quite exhausting.
It is. Then type 3 is preparation luck. Now, this is for the experts. If you are a highly skilled investor or maybe a scientist, you might spot a trend that everyone else completely misses.
Because of your background.
Right. It looks like pure luck to outsiders, but it's actually your skill and experience allowing you to see the opportunity.
Preparation meets opportunity. But Omega, even with type 3, you are still waiting for the opportunity to appear.
You are.
The 4th type, no, this is the holy grail.
Yes. Naval calls this luck from unique character or uniqueness. Justin, take us into the deep end here. What does this actually mean?
This is my absolute favorite concept from the material. This is luck that finds you because of who you are. It stops being luck, really, and starts becoming destiny.
Destiny. I like that.
The idea is that you build a character, a reputation, and a skill set so incredibly unique that opportunities have no choice but to land in your lap.
That sounds almost magical. Can you give our listeners an example? The source used a really vivid metaphor about a diver.
Yes, the deep sea diver.
Yeah.
Let's imagine you are the world's absolute best deep sea diver.
Okay.
You are known for taking on dives that are too dangerous or just too technical for anyone else. You've built this specific reputation over years of hard work. You are the only person who can do what you do.
Okay, I am picturing it. I am the master diver.
Now imagine someone else, some completely random person, is walking along the beach and through type 1 blind luck, they find a map to a sunken treasure ship.
Lucky them.
Very lucky. But here is the catch. They can't get to it. They don't have the skills. They can't even rent the equipment because they don't know how to use it safely.
Oh, I see.
The treasure is useless to them. It just sits at the bottom of the ocean.
Unless they call me.
Precisely. Their blind luck suddenly becomes your opportunity. They must come to you. They have to offer you a huge cut of the treasure just to get you to say yes.
Wow.
You didn't find the map. You didn't rely on blind luck yourself. But because you created this unique character, this master diver, the luck found you.
I love that. So instead of nervously chasing luck around, you build yourself into a person that luck likes to visit. You become a magnet.
Spot on, Omega. You cultivate such a strong magnetic field of uniqueness that luck becomes inevitable. It becomes deterministic.
I think this is where the healing truly begins for our listeners. Instead of panicking about finding opportunities in this fast world, you just focus on building yourself.
Exactly.
But the natural question is how? How do we become that diver? Most of us are just working regular jobs. How do we cultivate this uniqueness?
The advice here is wonderfully simple, yet quite difficult to execute. You have to be yourself. Aggressively.
Be yourself. We hear that a lot, but what does it actually mean in this context?
It means escaping competition through authenticity. Naval says, no one can compete with you on being you.
That's a great quote.
If you are trying to be the best copy of someone else, you will always be second best. But if you combine your weird interests, your specific skills, and your natural personality, you create a category of one.
This links perfectly to the concept of specific knowledge, doesn't it?
It does. Specific knowledge is the stuff you simply cannot learn in a standard textbook.
Yeah.
Because if you can learn it in a classroom, that means someone else can be trained to replace you.
Right.
Specific knowledge comes from your genuine curiosity.
Like when a kid is just obsessed with the stars or computers or maybe baking. They aren't doing it for a grade. They're doing it because they love it.
Exactly. To you, it feels like play. To everyone else, it looks like work. That is the golden signal.
Play that looks like work.
Yes. I want the listener to really think about this right now. What is something you do that feels like effortless play to you, but looks like grueling work to others? If you can find that, you have found your specific knowledge.
Because you can do it for hours without getting tired while everyone else just burns out.
Precisely.
That is such a helpful compass direction. Look for what feels like play. But Justin, practically speaking, how do we apply this to a professional career?
You have to play long-term games with long-term people. Let's do a simple exercise. Look at the industry you are currently in. Are you switching jobs every single year? Are you jumping from marketing to coding to sales?
A lot of people do that.
They do, but you need to pick a lane where you can build that unique reputation. If you keep switching industries constantly, you never gain the depth or the trust required for that fourth type of luck to find you.
That makes total sense. It takes time to become the master diver. You can't be a master diver one year and then a master chef the next.
Exactly. Consistency builds the reputation, and reputation brings the luck.
Okay, so we are building our unique character. We are finding our specific knowledge, but we still need to understand the actual mechanics of wealth.
Right, the gears turning behind the scenes.
Yes, and Naval talks a lot about leverage. And he has a pretty strong warning about renting out your time.
He does. And this is a hard pill to swallow for many, but it is fundamentally true. You will never get truly rich renting out your time.
Because time is linear, right? We only have 24 hours in a day.
Right. If you are paid a salary or an hourly wage, you are essentially renting your time. If you don't show up to the office, you don't get paid. Your inputs strictly equal your outputs.
So what is the alternative?
To build wealth, you need to disconnect your time from your income. You need equity. You must have ownership.
Meaning you need to own a piece of a business.
Let's use a very simple analogy. Imagine a local bakery. There's the baker in the back. He is highly skilled, he works incredibly hard, and he gets paid, let's say, $20 an hour to knead the dough.
Okay.
If he goes home and sleeps, he earns nothing.
And then there is the owner of the bakery.
Right. The owner might not even be in the building. Maybe she is on holiday. But she took the risk to start the bakery. She owns the brand, she owns the equipment, the systems.
The equity.
Yes. When the bakery sells a loaf of bread, she earns a profit. She earns while she sleeps. That is the fundamental difference between simply offering labor and holding equity.
But Justin, not everyone can just go out and buy a bakery tomorrow. That requires capital. That requires money a lot of beginners might not have yet.
True. And that brings us to the most exciting part for our listeners today, the concept of the new leverage.
The new leverage.
Historically, leverage meant you needed labor, meaning people working for you, or you needed capital, which is money, to buy factories. Both of those require permission. You need someone to say yes, to give you money, or to work for you.
But the new leverage is different.
Completely different. The new leverage is code and media. Software, YouTube channels, podcasts, blogs. This is what we call permissionless leverage.
Permissionless. I really like that word. It sounds so freeing.
It is freeing. No one needs to give you permission to write code for a new app. No one needs to give you permission to record a podcast just like this one. You can sit down and record it at 3 a.m. in your pajamas.
And once you put it on the internet, it works for you 24/7.
It's like an army of robots that never sleeps.
So if you create a piece of software or helpful video, that asset is out there working, potentially reaching thousands or millions of people, while you are off doing something else.
Exact.
And that ties perfectly back to the wealth definition we started with: assets that earn while you sleep.
It does. And combined with the internet, you can use the principle of proximity. You can find the specific people who care about your specific niche, even if you are into something super obscure like antique compass restoration.
Antique compass restoration, that is specific.
Very. But the internet allows you to connect with the other 10,000 people on Earth who love that exact same thing. You expand your luck surface area massively without needing anyone's permission.
That is incredibly empowering. It means we all have the tools right now, literally in our pockets, to start building this
We
compass.
do.
But Justin, I want to pause right here for a moment.
Go on.
We've talked a lot about wealth, luck, leverage, all these active doing things. But as we said at the very start, the Omega channel is also about healing.
Yes.
And Naval makes a very strong point about what creates the actual foundation for all of this success.
He does. And it's the one thing we usually ignore until it breaks: your physical health.
Exactly. I want everyone listening to really absorb this one sentence. Naval says, a healthy person has 1,000 wishes, but a sick person has only one.
That is such a profound statement. It
Mhm.
stops you right in your tracks. When you have the flu or a severe migraine or chronic pain,
Mm,
do you care about the stock market?
not at all.
Do you care about your YouTube subscriber count?
No, I just want the pain to stop. I just want to feel normal again.
Exactly. Health is the absolute foundation. It provides the stable energy you need to pursue that fourth type of luck.
You can't be the master deep sea diver if you're too sick to get out of bed.
You really can't. You cannot play the long-term game if you burn out in year 2. You cannot compound your specific knowledge if your brain is foggy from a lack of sleep.
It's all about sustainability. We tend to treat health like it's a bonus feature in life, but it's actually the operating system. If the operating system crashes, none of the apps work.
That is a brilliant way to put it.
So, choosing to eat well, to move your body gently, to meditate, that isn't a distraction from wealth creation.
Yeah.
That is the necessary fuel for it. It is your long-term energy source.
And ultimately, Omega, maintaining that energy, leads directly to the core philosophy here: the concept of self-rescue.
Self-rescue, tell us about that, Justin.
Naval's philosophy is that no one is coming to save you. The doctor won't make you naturally healthy. You have to do the diet and the exercise yourself. The guru won't make you calm. You have to actually sit and do the meditation.
And the investor won't make you rich. You have to build your own specific knowledge.
Precisely. It sounds a bit scary at first glance, but it's actually the ultimate freedom. It means you are the master of your own destiny. You become your own teacher.
I think that is deeply healing. You stop waiting for a savior or a map from someone else, and you start navigating for yourself.
You build your compass.
This has been such a rich and warm conversation, Justin. I feel like we have covered so much valuable ground today.
I completely agree.
So to bring it all home for our listeners, to make everyone feel safe and grounded, I want you to remember this. Think of life not as following a rigid map where you have to constantly worry about missing a turn.
Maps cause anxiety.
They do. Instead, think of your life as building that master compass.
And that compass is your type 4 luck. It is your unique character. If you build that, if you stay healthy, follow your genuine curiosity, and use the permissionless leverage available to you, you don't need a map anymore.
You just head in your true direction, and the world simply opens up for you. Luck becomes your destiny.
Brilliantly summarized, Omega.
Thank you, Justin. And to everyone listening, remember, we have a little surprise bonus for you today. In the description below, you'll find a vocabulary list summarizing the key terms we used today.
Words like zero sum, permissionless leverage, and specific knowledge.
Exactly. So you can review them, practice them, and really own these concepts in English.
Definitely check that out. It's a fantastic way to lock in everything you've learned today.
Thanks for watching the Omega channel. I hope today's sharing was helpful. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and turn on notifications. See you next time.
Keep learning, and I look forward to seeing you again. Goodbye.